Hello again, everybody. It's Harry Boxer, the Technical Trader, and it's Turnaround Tuesday, August the 9th. Boy, we had a big day today on Wall Street, one of the biggest rallies I've ever seen, particularly in the last 75 minutes when the Dow rallied 635 points and the S&P was up like 125. I mean, the NDX was up 125, S&P 79, something like that. It was a monster rally, and it closed near the high for the day going away. So that could have been an important bottom, and we'll see what we get in terms of follow through. And there's overhead resistance. As a matter of fact, most of the indices close right at key resistance, at least secondary resistance. So we'll see if we get any follow through. I do have a feeling we may actually gap lower tomorrow, but we'll see how the futures do overnight. Starting with a low price baby, WOW Joint Holdings, BWOW. Last month it had this one big day when it popped, followed through the next day, and then went into a 3-week downtrend, which actually retested the June low. Today it exploded for 90 cents or 78%, traded the biggest volume in 3 weeks, and broke out of this down channel. Let's see what kind of follow through we get. Today's high 242 should be watched for potential move up towards the 280 area, and then about 340. Caribou, really phenomenal action. If you take a look at the way this acted during the whole decline, it actually went up in the last 3 weeks. And today, spiking from 1352 to 16 and a quarter and closing a penny off the high, up 19%. That was a big move. And as you can see, when you draw the lines here, this is actually broken out, and it looks like it may be moving towards the top of the channel, around 18 and a half area, a short-term target. CROX had a big snapback day, moving 309 or 12.5% on 5 million shares. Now, after the spike down yesterday and the spike up today, that spike down had broken the rising channel the last several months, but due to market conditions, perhaps. However, the snapback being as strong as it was, closed it not that far off the high, but right at the 21-day moving average, and is kissing the underbelly of this the rising channel that was broken. So we'll have to see whether we can break back out. But if we do, my first target is 30 and then 32.5. IDCC may have broken out today by popping, not making a new low when the market did. That was quite interesting, holding the 64 area, then exploding towards 72, reaching 71.92, and closing just 19 cents off the high, up 7.75. So 12%, big day, 3 million shares. And if it has any kind of follow through here, we could see it move up to test the 80-82 zone short term. Jazz had a nice snapback day. As you remember, the stock was moving real steadily over the last several months, had run up from the high single digits to the low 40s over the course of the last 8-10 months. Then a spike up on heavy volume preceded the market decline, which then dragged it down from 43 down towards the 32 zone. But today it jumped 359 or 11%, and closed right at the 21-day moving average, again, similar to the IDCC. We'll see if we get a follow through, but if we do, I'm looking for a retest of 40 and then 43. Java Holdings, the coffee company, it broke down yesterday, but snapped right back today for 244, almost 17%. If it does snap back from here, we would look for a retest of this declining tops line, and on a short-term basis, it could mean a run up back up towards 20, 20.5. Luminex had an outstanding day today. We picked it early on this morning. After it opened and ran, the stock then pulled back, and we got into it around the 22 range. It closed at 24.62, up 612, 33%. A huge, huge day for the stock. You can see across this line, and not only that, but up near multi-year highs up in the late 2008 highs. So more than about almost a 3-year high. And he broke out. There is some resistance around 27, my short-term target. But through that, I would look for 30, 31, and then on an intermediate basis around 35.6. MAKO, a stock we've loved and been on our top 25 list for months, finally topped out when the market did, rolled over hard, coming down from 32.80 down to 21. Today, it gapped up and exploded and ran on stalled earnings, up 35%, 3.7 million, the biggest volume all year, I believe. Matter of fact, the biggest volume in many years traded. A big spike out reversal, also closing near the 21-day moving average. Need to get a follow through. Short-term resistance around 30 and at 32.75. Big day for Marchex, MCHX, a new one we spotted. It traded 785,000 shares up $1.66 or 18%, but more importantly, lateral price resistance going back to these highs and last month's high was broken. And now the stock is at a 3-year high zone, and it may be running up towards the $13 range. my intermediate target. MCP, one of our favorite trading stocks, snapped back for 467 today. It closed right at the exact high, 51, and about $4.24 off the low too. So that was a nice little pop, and then pull back and run. Up 10%, 5.5 million. Overhead resistance around 56.5 is our target, followed by 60 and 63. Low price Mitek with stunning fundamentals today came out with a 260% increase in revenues and a profit against the loss. The stock jumped to 8.5 from the 6.5 low yesterday. Got some profit taking, but still up $1.02 or 15%, and nearly 1 million shares traded. And that's the biggest volume in about a month. So good action there. We can get up through today's high at 860. I'm looking for a move back towards the 9.5-10 zone. Favorite Soda, SODA, after coming down under market pressure, held the July lows and the June highs. So we have a lateral price support around today's low 62.5 range. That's support. It closed right near the 21-day and the declining tops line. So we need a punch through to get this up to the mid-70s and then maybe high 70s. VHC with a big snapback today. This stock reversed 3 weeks ago at 41. It has come all the way down to 15.5. What a drop. Losing 2/3 of its value in about 3 weeks, but then snapping back a big volume of 5.3 million, up 386 or 24% today. It did close at resistance, so we need a punch through. But if it does get it, I'm looking for upwards of 24.5 zone short term. VirnetX, also a favorite of ours, came down hard from the 52.5 range down to 39 just in about 6 days. But snapped back for 445 or 11% today, 4.3 million traded. It is at resistance. I need to see a follow through. Next target around 47.5, followed by 50.51. And lastly today is ZAGG, also one of our favorites that broke with the market in the last 3 sessions, coming down from 1690 to yesterday's low at 1140. Today snapping back $2 or 17% on 1.8 million. Again, closing near resistance at the former trend line and lateral price resistance. We need to get this back over 15 to get it going. But target would be 16.75 and then 19 for ZAGG. And that's it for tonight. Fantastic session today. We'll see if we get a follow through. That'll be key. Good night.